It goes without saying, the Apple Watch Ultra certainly took the limelight at this year's announcements, but Apple have made important updates to two of their most popular Apple Watch lineup, the Apple Watch Series 8 and the Apple Watch SE. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about them here on MKwan Reviews. Now I'm going to start off with the Apple Watch SE, but if you want to fast forward to the Apple Watch Series 8, then you can use the chapter bar below. To begin with, despite the fact that this is the most affordable Apple Watch, you're not going to lose out on the traditional Apple Watch unboxing experience. It comes exactly the same as the others. So you get the Apple Watch head itself, and then you can pair that up with the band. Now this, as default, comes with the Midnight Sports Band, which is a really nice option to go with. You get the paperwork, and then you get this USB-C to Apple Watch charging pad over here. There is no charging brick in the box, and this is available either as a 40mm or a 44mm, which is what I have here. Now this generation of the SE has been updated. You still get that beautiful OLED display on the front that you can see, but Apple have updated the back on this so that it matches now the aluminum case, and there's a range of different colors that you can choose from, so you don't just have to opt for this more traditional darker color. The version of the SE has some improvements over the first, the most noticeable being the performance with the S8 chip. This is 20% faster, and day to day you will notice this, especially when you're going in and out of various apps, just interacting with the Apple Watch as a whole. I think where the SE is positioned is really for two types of people. The first are those that are perhaps younger, teenagers, that want an Apple Watch on a budget, and parents want to get them one without having to spend too much. The second is really for those people that have been on the fence about getting an Apple Watch. They might not want to spend all that money on getting a Series 8 with all the bells and all the whistles. They might just not need the ECG, the temperature sensor, all these other features, and they just want a basic Apple Watch to kind of experience, or that's just all they need. Because there's a feature called Family Setup that makes it easy to set up the Apple Watch for people that might not have their own Apple Watch. Now the Apple Watch SE will still give you access to advanced workouts along with a whole range of different options to choose from, and then the stats related to those. As well as that, you are going to be able to use this for sleep tracking. Yes, the Apple Watch SE will not have some of those features that you'll find in the traditional Apple Watch Series 8, like the ECG, the heart rate monitor, and also the new temperature sensor. But it does have a really cool feature that the Apple Watch Series 8 does have, and that is crash detection. The other update to this year's Apple Watch SE compared to the previous generation is an improvement in battery life. So you will get better battery performance overall. Not as good as the Apple Watch Series 8, but still a very reasonable amount of battery life. And with a new low power mode that's available in Watch OS 9, it means you can push the battery life a little further. And when you factor in the price, so this will set you back around $250 US, or in this region, around about 999 dirhams, just over $260. That is still great value for an entry-level Apple Watch experience. Now the Apple Watch Series 8 is a little different from the SE. To begin with, the boxing experience exactly the same, and this time round I have the Apple Watch Series 8 in this beautiful, there we go, graphite stainless steel case. A little different for me. This is available in either a 45mm, which is what I have here, which is the larger size, or a 41mm size. Now I'll show you what that looks like on my 6.5-inch wrist. But what I will say is that on first impressions, the stainless steel case actually looks and feels very, very nice, very premium, because the last two, the Series 7 and before that the Series 6, I had an aluminum case. And compared to that, the stainless steel case feels a little heavier, but oh my gosh, it feels so much more premium. The build quality and the overall experience wearing a stainless steel Apple Watch is, I mean, it's a bit more expensive, but boy does it feel premium and nice. I paired up my Apple Watch Series 8 with this beautiful Apple Watch leather band. Now I think this was from the Series 6, or might even been from the Series 5, but it looks and feels so good with this graphite color. And I do use it with the Midnight Sports Band, and also I've got a ton of different NATO bands, so it goes really well with all of them. But I think this just looks really nice. Now, there aren't any new watch faces with the new Series 8, which is something that we kind of got with the previous generation, but we do have updates to Watch OS 9 watch faces, and one of them is this. This is a lunar calendar. It's an Islamic calendar that I've customized it to. It looks incredible. What do you guys think? All right, so visually, the Apple Watch Series 8 looks very similar to the previous generation Series 7. There aren't any major changes in terms of the rounded design, the look, the feel. It's pretty much the same, but there are important updates on the inside, one of them being the addition of a new sensor, temperature sensor. And what this is designed to do is basically gauge any deviation from a baseline. Once you've worn it for a while, it'll be able to figure that out based on your sleeping and temperature, and then be able to advise other elements. So one of the features that is very important for females is cycle tracking, and that's available in the Health app. And what the temperature sensor will be able to do with that data is advise on the overall cycle period, but also advise for ovulation as well. Now, related to cycle tracking are a couple of other really cool features. One of them is cycle deviations. Now, these are quite common, but the fact is that you will get a notification if that has occurred, and then you can kind of evaluate if that's due to sort of natural causes or if you want to investigate that further. And if you do want to investigate that further, then there is a version of the PDF, essentially your data that you've been logging in, that you're able to download and then share with a health professional. And the best part of all of this is still the attention to privacy. All right, so one of the other features, and we saw this with last generation Series 7, is Apple introduced sleep tracking. Now, I was critical of this in the past. Sleep tracking previously was super simplistic. This time it has been updated, and it's nice to see that it covers more stages of sleep and there's more graphical interface that gives you information within the Health app about the stages of sleep. However, I still feel that Apple can improve even further on this, because I've used fitness trackers that have very good sleep tracking other than the Apple Watch, and I can't help but feel that they are much more detailed and a bit more accurate than what I'm currently getting with the Apple Watch. Now, when it comes to battery life, I've actually noticed an improvement with the Series 8 over my Series 7, and Apple have spoken about improvements to battery life. There's the ability to stretch it all the way out to 36 hours with the low power mode on watchOS 9, which I think is fantastic. Extension with low power mode will turn off a whole range of different functionalities. Quite a few of you messaged me on Instagram asking, hey Mkwan, I have a Series 6 or a Series 5, Series 7, should I upgrade to the Series 8? I think if you come in from a Series 7, no. There isn't enough to upgrade to unless you're specifically looking for that temperature sensor, perhaps tracking of cycles, your family planning with ovulation, then yes, okay, you could justify that. But even with, let's say, a Series 6, it probably is worth waiting to see what Apple releases with the Apple Watch next year. I think if you've got a Series 5 and later, then yeah, definitely worth upgrading. And if you have the older Series SE, you might not want to upgrade to the latest SE. You might want now to pay extra money and get some of those sensors and those features. Then yeah, I think it might be worth upgrading to the Series 8. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you're new here, be sure to smash that subscribe button. And if you want to see a first hands-on with the Apple Watch Ultra that I took from the event, check this video out here and stay tuned for the full review coming soon here on Mkwan Reviews.